Greetings, Commanders! Today we're talking about Galactic Battle or Guild Battle Season 1 for Sky Kingdoms. And we're going to talk about the meta. So I'm going to be using Ark of War summoners or heroes and Sky Kingdom summoners interchangeably. I'll try to put the distinction down when I'm talking about it. But Sky Kingdoms is still a young game, and we're in the first week of the playoffs. So I want to tell everyone what to expect. We are going to be doing some live streaming. We are going to be doing some, VODs or post live stream debates on all the best content. So stay tuned to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and do that, and then hit the bell icon if you want to see new videos as they come out or when the live streams go live. You get a notice right on your phone if you hit the bell icon. Okay, so we have already passed into the round of 16, the round of 32. Penn was the #1 seed. It looks like there was 1, 2, 3, and 4 took each section of the round of 32 bracket. But we're here. We did progress to the next round. We'll be playing SXS and the winner of Val versus Hua Zia. I think HUA is going to be a really strong guild, so we'll see. The winner of that gets to fight Penn. Penn is like the go-to de facto #1 guild right now. They have the most big players and big spenders. So that'll be exciting to see. But what commanders are you expecting to see? Well, it's real simple. In the terms of Ark of War, you would be saying it's Vega versus Chief versus... You'd actually be saying it's Golem versus Chief versus Stella. And in Sky Kingdoms, we don't have Chief. We have Ekums. And instead of Chief's 20% skill, Ekums has Echo's 20% skill, but let's not get too complicated. And also, Golem is a Walker commander. So in reality, what it comes down to is we have two 40% guaranteed hit skill commanders. We have Vega and Raymond, which is Hecate, this chick here, and then Cademy. Now, for all intents and purposes, Hecate is going to be a stronger all-around commander. Her 40% skill is Vega's Breakdown. It's going to be excellent against airship commanders. It's going to do great against walker commanders. It won't have too much value on infantry commanders. In that regard, Cademy may get more value out of Raymond's double strike than Hecate will get out of one singular big defense-destroying strike. But in reality, if this lands, if Hecate's skill even lands on infantry's so squishy, I think you're going to get all the value you need there anyway. So I think you got two points in favor of Hecate here instead of Cademy. And that's why I say basically it's Vega. Hecate is Vega. Vega's the #1 airship commander. The other commanders in that is Grievous or Gisela, the healing airship commander, 80% heal. That's fine. It's a real limited use because Gisela versus any infantry commander or walker commander with dodge is going to really rely on their 4-piece triggers to land a hit. So I really don't like to put Giselle even in the conversation. So for the purpose of this video, it's basically Vega versus Golem, who's a walker commander, versus Stella. So Hecate's going to be the main airship. That's the one you should be seeing. You might see a few Academies, but that's going to be the big airship commander. And like I said, you might see a couple Gisellas, but they're easily counterable. And frankly, they don't really hit that hard. Gisela Grievous does not hit hard enough to make it a main commander. Cool for infantry. You can use Knights on it because in Guild Battle Season 1, Tier 1 infantry still do not give points, so it's played very much like Ark of War in that regard. But getting into the Walker commanders, and then I'll talk about the meta here in a second, because we don't have all the other commanders. We don't have Plasma, we don't have Hoodoo, we don't have Rogers, we don't have Robin, we don't have Elf, we don't have Blader, we don't have Moonshadow, we don't have Nekajiro, we don't have a 40% guaranteed infantry hit commander yet. We don't have Thunder Ray, we don't have Lady, we don't have Full Metal, and... did I say the X? Anyway, we don't need the X. But we don't have a lot of the main commanders yet. And so right now, it's really just these 3 singular main commanders or summoners that are going to be doing all the heavy lifting. So Hecate is going to be for the airships. Boomcrow is Golem, which is for Walker now. That's Crush, basically. She's great, There are other Walker choices. Like I said, Chief's in here. His name is Ekums. He has Echo's Heal as his 20% skill. We don't get too excited about 20% skills in this channel, but just know that Boomcrow does hit substantially harder than Ekums, but Ekums has a heal. So, like I said, Boomcrow's the man. You might see some Ekums here and there. We've had more Boomcrow events than Ekums events, so that's also another reason. And then there's other Walker commanders like Snapjaw and Crab Knight. thing about Crab Knight is that's king, and his skill is 60% right now. But until his 60% skill goes to 100%, like he just did in Arc of War, I really don't consider Crab Knight a good, viable main for the end game. Maybe with tier 9, but even then, not better than the current options. So that's why I still say Boomcrow is the main Walker commander. And then, of course, there's the main infantry commander, which is Stella, or in this game, it's actually Pink Knight. He is just this fabulous man. Where is he? There he is. I actually don't have him. I didn't go that faction. But you know, he's got the Wings of Eternity, which is called Swift. It's exactly like Stella. He's just more handsome. So there's another Walker choice. There is Galileo for Walker commanders. His name is actually Nemian, and it's exactly the same as Arc of War. He's a ramp commander. I did a video on him actually, if you're not sure what he does. But basically, he gets stronger as the round goes on, which is great in a big toe-to-toe fight, which we are going to see. And he has a heal as well. We are going to see big toe-to-toe fights. So as much as we're going to see Pink Knights as just big one-slot bust attacking guilds, the #1 player in the game may actually opt to go Nemian for a while just because they can hold the fort better as an infantry commander. I don't know what Penn's main is, their main airship commander, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Hekot or Academy. So, yeah, like I said, we still don't have a lot of commanders. No Rogers yet. So, that's the infantry main meta, right? I mean, really, because Nemian is so good, I really only consider there 4 commanders. So the 3 main ones, right? Hekot, Boomcrow, and Pink Knight, but then also Nemian because he's just so useful right now. He doesn't have a guaranteed hit, right? But he makes up for it in gaining accuracy and attack with his instinct perpetual growth or perpetual ramp ability. So that's what we're going to be seeing, right? We're going to be seeing, you know, walkers fighting infantry, infantry fighting airships, and airships fighting walkers. A lot of the guilds in this game are following the standard what Arc of War guilds did. They basically just the top 10 players from the smaller guild goes to the bigger guild after a merge, which, you know, it kind of sucks for all the other guild members that were in the guild for the last 3 or 4 months. And I personally don't mind that strategy. I mean, I'm one to talk. I did it on Arc of War too, Arc of War as well. In other words, a server merge comes along, whoever the new biggest guild is goes to the second guild and says, okay, well, we're going to kill you guys, and then the second guild always folds, and the top 10 power players just dump their old guild behind and join the next guild, and everyone in their old guild that gets abandoned goes, oh no, where'd all our big players go? And then it's just a mad scramble. So that kind of is what happens in Sky Kingdom. You know, we see it on our server. I'm sure Penn's doing the same thing, the #1 guild Penn. So the guilds we're seeing are obviously much more organized. They know the Galactic Battle rules. They know the commanders better. People are spending like crazy. Tier 9 is out. I haven't seen any Tier 9 myself, but I have seen replays on WeChat. So it is in the game, and if any one of those guilds has Tier 9, no one is going to contest them. It's just not going to happen. There is, of course, 2 more commanders I didn't mention, and that's Lurk, which is also known as Bullet in Arc of War. He's great, but his same exact skill. He's not as valuable right now, right? Bullet becomes a valuable commander as time goes on, as people get more leadership, as people get higher tier, as people start focusing on the one-slot bust meta, you can really use this skill to take a chunk of them off. But also, it's like because you want to minimize risk, you don't want to risk your own army. This Sky Kingdoms is getting there, but once Tier 9 is a facet, you're going to start seeing a lot more Lurks. And you're going to see Lurks in the guild battle because people use them for rallies and attacks like that. Also, Rock is in the game, Simi, but he gives away points because he uses walkers in the to trigger his Lurk raid ability. So we're not going to be seeing too much of Simi, just like we don't see too much of Rock in Arc of War. Okay. That's Guild Battle Season 1. Those are the main commanders. That's the meta talk. I mean, I've talked a little bit about this in other videos, but I want to just mention what I kind of started to gloss over earlier. This Guild Battle season is going to kind of suck. It's going to go down to who has the best gear, best leadership, and biggest army. It's not necessarily a strategy game. It's going to be basically like who's just going to plant their big army there and say, come and get me. Because there's just not a lot of options. We don't have Plasma yet, right? Plasma is a great option for everyone who isn't the boss. If the enemy boss puts their commander with Tier 9 or Tier 7 in a stronghold, everyone who has Plasma could load them up with Tier 2 or whatever infantry they have and just go Plasma bomb into the main army. That's not an option yet in Sky Kingdoms. So if a big boss puts his commander there, yeah, you can send Lurk at him, but if he's in a stronghold, you're going to have to heal Lurk every time, and that's 400 to 600 gems. Not cheap, and people are still saving gems because they're not level 21 yet. So people are much more stingy with their gem usage. So buying the Galactic Battle, Guild Battle, is going to be a bit easier for Season 1 of the boss guilds. Our guild doesn't intend, I don't think I'm going to push us to win a guild battle. I think if we get to the top 8, that would be really good for us, but after that, there's really no there's no outspending the other players, and we'll just do the best we can with what we know how to do and work on our fundamentals, and we'll have fun either way. So, yeah. So because no one in our guild is going to be going, super boss and spend that kind of money, we're just going to work within the confines of what we're willing to spend. So that's kind of where we're at, and that's kind of where the opening meta is. We once the boss is planted, we don't have a plasma to break them down. There's no hoodoos to do any pocket tricks in case they try to attack your ships or zero you. And of course, Rogers isn't here yet. I don't think Rogers will be here till next season, maybe even like 3 months away from now. So it's kind of a stale GB. It's going to be the biggest commander with the biggest army that sits there, and there's going to be some, importance on rally attacks and Lurk or Bullet. And then, of course, a watch of all the points and stuff. But for the most part, it's going to be a pretty stale Season 1. And Sky Kingdoms is an amazing game. It really is. Like, there's a lot of things about Ark of War I don't like now because of how good Sky Kingdoms is. Like, we have these open hospital, big hospital events at least every other weekend. Like, at least 2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks a month. And we have these in Ark of War as well. But our hospitals are already 10 times bigger. So in this, 873,000 healing capacity. Just use Tier 2, right? The game is quite a bit advanced, but it's not so far past Ark of War that you can't use Tier 2 yet. So, you're not losing troops permanently. It does take a long time to heal them, but that's just normal like Ark of War. And then, of course, they added this dragon, right? These are your ships, but also the ships, the dragon itself has abilities, and you can modify those and pick which ones you want. Like this one gives all troops in the front row dodge. That's awesome. But Ark of War has a lot of catching up to do. I think they're afraid to change it too much. I think Sky Kingdoms is definitely playing with some other ideas. There's so many more resource collectors, and you can hold so many more. And instead of having to individually click them all, you just grab your device and shake it. And they all come flying up. Oh, that was a bad example because I was full on that one. But I love that. I love that aspect of it. I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff I'm missing about this game that isn't in Ark of War. Everything's kind of spread out too. Like the slot machines, it's actually you can click on it there instead of just going to more menu. What else? Is there anything else? Oh, there's an underground keep where there's the ferry thing. So like if you're just short like a few resources, instead of having to pay the gems, you can just pay 2 gold and just get the items directly. So let's say I need wood, I paid 2 gold and I got 78,000. Now, if I want to do it again, it's going to cost me 4. I only got 30,000 that time. But it's a real quick way to make up those missing amounts. But anyway, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. This video is supposed to be just for the meta, and that's pretty much it, guys. It's Hekot versus Boomcrow versus Pink Knight with maybe a little Nemean stuck in, maybe some Gisellas, definitely some Lurks, maybe some Ekams because of his nice 20% heal. But we don't get too excited about 20% heals. But anyway, that's the update for Guild Battle Season 1 of Sky Kingdoms. Next week, I may do that live stream. Just click the bell icon below, subscribe to the channel if you're a new Sky Kingdoms player. And of course, if you haven't joined the community, check the description below. We have a line chat, we have a Discord, and we are on WeChat. Your guild is probably on WeChat, but we haven't fully established that community yet. But join us. We'd like to know who you are. And yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you next week on a live stream or anytime after that, in case you're watching this in 3 months. But anywho, my name is Melt. Thanks for watching, and remember, peace is bad for business.